5 NFT games being built on the Cardano network as we speak. I believe we'll see an entirely new world of NFT games on Cardano because transaction fees are so low. So this means exciting possibilities like play-to-earn microtransactions that would be impossible due to gas fees on other networks. However, it's worth mentioning that pretty much every game on Cardano is brand new and not yet tradable. So they caught my eye either due to artwork, gameplay, or the team, but you'll want to keep track of these games for when they are tradable. The first on the list is Cornucopias. Cornucopias is a play-to-earn open-world multiplayer game that's centered around playing mini-games and activities with friends. The game takes place on the island. The island is divided up into different sections, each with its own theme and aesthetic. These sections are known as zones. Each zone has a variety of mini-games that all stick to their own theme. Cornucopias can also be played alone or with friends to earn in-game items, which with play-to-earn games are NFTs that you can sell for real money. And according to the founders, you can also collect resources to craft these NFT items if you don't earn them. So it seems like anyone will be able to take advantage of the play-to-earn aspect of this game. They have plans for it to be a Minecraft-style game where players have creative control to build items and sell on the marketplace as well. And the thing that caught my eye with Cornucopias was the simple and colorful aesthetic, as well as their plans to implement building and crafting for sellable items. The biggest issue with mini games is staying relevant over long periods of time. Building games are able to stay relevant a little bit easier as they're inherently more replayable, since the community is always building something bigger and better. The opportunities are endless with a building game, which is why Cornucopias is one of my top picks. Now, the core development team stood out to me because of their marketing experience. Josh Jones, who is one of the founders, has 25 years of marketing and startup experience. Sometimes games can have talented developers making a great game, but none of that matters if it isn't marketed well. So seeing this is a good sign for the future of Cornucopias. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is the size of their team, which is at 4, but that's to be expected with projects who are bootstrapping their funding. Also, as a side note, before we get into the next game, if you hold ADA and you stake it or you want to earn some passive income on your ADA, make sure you stake in my stake pool. Max1 is the ticker symbol, MAX, the number 1. With that, you can earn 5% annually on your ADA, plus you'll know who is operating the pool. And 5% of all revenue generated by the pool gets donated to charity. So not only do you get to make some passive income, but you also get to benefit a good cause. Now, second on the list is Crypto Mage. Crypto Mage is a play-to-earn game centered around wizards helping other wizards develop and craft their magic. You'll be able to play in tournaments for rewards as well as complete quests to progress in the game. The gameplay will include casting spells, improving and developing your wizard skills, and unlocking new mages. How the rest of the game will look is pretty much unknown so far, and there isn't any gameplay content on their socials or websites, so until then, it's just all claims. Now, what caught my eye about this game, besides all the limited information, is the artwork and the vision. The game has some solid artwork for the wizard NFTs, as well as what seems to be a plan for mage capabilities and backstory. There also is very limited information on the founding team, with only a small bit of information on their website about the founder's experience in the blockchain industry. And while there's some notable experience, I am iffy on the fact that I couldn't find a face or even a LinkedIn profile that matched this alleged founder. So in a nutshell, there isn't enough information on this one as of now to make any predictions for the game or even fully trust it, but considering that it's relatively ambitious, with the information that we do have, it's worth at least keeping an eye on. Third on this list is Cardano Warriors. Cardano Warriors is a top-down RPG game centered around exploration and quests that aims to pay homage to the golden era of gaming by creating an experience very similar to mini games of that time. The golden era being 8 and 16-bit video games. So you'll play the game by buying one of their warriors, which is a character in the form of an NFT. With this warrior, you'll be able to explore new land, go on quests, and collect new items that vary in rarity. So pretty much exactly what you'd expect from a classic 16-bit RPG. Now, there's two major things that caught my eye with this game: the website and their plans for mobile. Their website website is actually a mini demo of the game, and you have to walk across different areas of the island you're on to access links and information on the site. It's a fun concept, but the reason that it stands out from others is it's actually a proof of kind of limited gameplay, and shows that they actually have a foundation for the game that they're building, and it feels pretty good so far. On top of this, they also have plans to bring Cardano Warriors to mobile, and I think this is huge. I believe that this is completely doable for a game this simple, and it could potentially be a way for play-to-earn games to see a much more mainstream audience, because currently most play-to-earn games are fairly difficult to access for the average Joe. More than 80% of the world has a smartphone right now, which means mobile gaming is a huge space. And if they can successfully bring play-to-earn games to the mobile space, I think they'll instantly be grabbed up by anyone with a phone looking to make some extra money on the side, especially in developing countries. Now, Cardano Warriors seems to have the biggest team on this list, with a core development team as well as a marketing advisor, artists, designers, and a community coordinator. This is getting close to studio level size, and I'm not surprised that they already have a demo up on their website given their team size. Cardano Warriors is definitely one to watch and one of the most solid projects on this list. Next up is Hash Guardians. They're an open world multiplayer RPG game surrounding fighting and exploration. So it's similar to Cardano Warriors, but Hash Guardians have a much more modern art style. The game currently has an NFT collection of 10,000 Guardians, which are what you would buy in order to play the game, as each Guardian is a character that you can later play. The game will have its own currency, hash coins, and it'll be the objective of the game to explore new areas, complete quests along the way, and earn these hash coins. You can also use your hash coins to buy equipment or cosmetic items for your Hash Guardian. Now, what stood out to me about this game is its already sold out NFT collection and early alpha gameplay that was released. The NFT artwork for the Hash Guardian characters is the best of the games on this list, making it a cool collectible in and of itself, which may keep the game popular if players also enjoy their characters as NFT collectibles on the side. Of course, the game has to also be fun and make people money. Now, number 5 on this list is Chibidango Heroes. Now, Chibidango Heroes isn't just a mouthful of syllables, but it's also a play-to-earn hero game built on the Cardano blockchain. The game is centered around seasonal collections of characters that can be bought and minted as NFTs. So each NFT is a hero that has unique armor and abilities that will be accessible in the full game. Each season, new Chibidangos will be released as the game grows. The goal of the game is to go on quests and adventures to level up your character and expand your home base. The game will also include an underworld for more PvE, player versus enemy, ways to earn, and an arena for PvP, player versus player, ways to earn money. So what caught my eye with Chibidango Heroes is all of the many layers of this game planned for the future, more than any other games on this list. Implementing ways to progress that include that PvE and PvP in the same game is typically only slated for larger games, so seeing it planned in a smaller project is cool to see. But until we see gameplay, we have to take all of this with a grain of salt. Now to the team. The team is kind of the weak point of this game. I couldn't seem to find any details on the development team. The most I found were the names Kai, Catherine, Fussy, and Omega, which I found on their Discord, but I couldn't find any details on their website or any of their socials with any information other than their first names. And I'm not sure why they would just skip the About Us page on their site, so I'll leave that up to you to decide whether that's a red flag or not. But regardless, this seems to me like they have a lot planned, so it's at least one to keep your eye on in the future. So that's going to do it for NFT games being built on Cardano. I think this is a very exciting space that will see more and more development over time, and the low transaction fees are going to serve an environment that is very exciting for these games and additional play-to-earn opportunities. If there's any other Cardano projects you think I missed, make sure you comment them down below. I would just like to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.